deals. We like doing real estate deals. And Mark, we'll now take it down the line and try to be brief. Mark, what's the most exciting, and to borrow something from Rob Blumenthal, what's the coolest deal you did this year?
I like lending on empty buildings. That doesn't mean everybody sends me empty buildings. Like, why does everybody send me empty buildings? Why won't everybody send me a building that's leased? But it's just harder. But I love, I like seeing, the coolest deal, doing a deal in Europe for a couple $100 million. Sounds crazy, 100% financing someone to buy their debt back and working with them over the year. Getting a quarter of the profits was nice of the value of the equity, but seeing somebody who spent 30, 40 years building up a real estate company and then coming back and now having 25% equity and seeing the real estate, which was 65% leased to 90% leased, and seeing the cash flow go up, and actually seeing somebody who is winning and actually being able to participate. And then the other thing I'd say is to people out there that these are actually the good times to get into this industry. Fixing broken things is how a lot of us up here, we got up here because we fixed something that was broken, and that's the time to get in, when you can actually fix broken things and make a difference. When everything's working well, it's really hard to further your career and just be another person in an organization.
Jim, what's the coolest deal you've done this year?
Let's see, we did a lot of deals, but I think the most unique deal we did was we financed Blackstone's acquisition of GE's equity portfolio, and it was unique because I think it was a deal that would have traditionally gone into the CMBS market, but instead we pivoted and we originated it and sold it into the bank market, and so as a whole loan. And so I think that was I think that's another avenue in essence. I think that that was unique for us.
Greta, real quick.
I can't really comment on that, but I'll say I wish I had shorted mortgage rates.
Tim, I will answer. I'm actually going to answer for you. Buying $30 billion of GE capital assets, that's cool.
Yeah, and thanks, Jim, for the financing. Yeah, that was cool. Buying GE's real estate business was fantastic. It does a lot of stuff for us. We bought $9 billion of loans through that acquisition. Really importantly, we took one of all of our competitors out of the market, which is always helpful. We got a good team of people out of it, a lot of borrower relationships, and it was truly a unique scenario where we were the only people that they talked to, and it involved a giant franchise across a lot of countries. It was over 600 individual assets. It was across currencies, debt, equity, sort of the whole thing, and it was truly an amazing thing to be a part of. So that's amazing. It helps us grow our business more. I'd say one thing we didn't touch on up here that is generally interesting, I won't note any specific deals for us. Construction lending has been a relatively big part of what we've done over the past few years. It's really hard for banks to do really big construction loans in scale. Typical hold for the biggest banks that do construction. Jim, you don't do any construction. No. A lot of banks don't, maybe $150 million for the biggest. So if we can look at something that's $300, $400, $500 million, we can lend to some of the best developers out there at pretty low leverage and make some pretty attractive returns. So it's been an exciting part of this year.
Anthony and John, just a quick cool deal so we can open up questions.
For us, our multifamily business has grown pretty substantially. On the agency side, we just committed to a $1.4 billion financing for Starwood for their acquisition of the equity residential property. So for us, expanding our footprint in agency has been very exciting.
The Goldman Sachs arranged the financing for global logistics properties in their partnership with the government of Singapore to buy 122 million square feet of industrial properties from Blackstone. Actually, we shared it with Jim Flaum and
That was Morgan Stanley.
what was that?
It wasn't me, it was Morgan Stanley.
Yeah, Jim personally didn't write the check, but Morgan Stanley and also B of A. But I think it sort of spoke to the creativity of this market. We did 3 CMBS loans, each approximately $1 billion. We did 1 bank loan, almost $1 billion, which we syndicated, and then we did 2 loans, which we sold to a life insurance company, New York Life. So we arranged $6 billion of financing, and then said, wow, this is really special, let's hit as many different markets as possible so we didn't overwhelm one, and that's what Wall Street can do.
And I think like you can just vividly see it in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deals. This is why we've all been in this space for a very long time. Despite what's going on, it's all noise. The ability to do big, creative, whether they're big, small, creative, think out of the box transactions. I think real estate finance in general is probably one of the best sectors to be involved in, just to think creatively, do things a little differently, and come up with solutions. So I think we have a couple of